Your lever's looking awfully low there, sir. Here, let me help you out. There you go. That looks good right there. Gentlemen, we're back on the hog today. We have been able to accumulate some really good base hours so far this season. It's only like what, March 6th or something right now, and I already have almost 10 hours on the new bike. So what I like to do in the spring is immediately get out there and get my long moto fitness kind of under control, get out there and get doing 30s as much as possible so I can kind of build up a base. Once I have a little base built, I kind of like to work on the technique and more sprinting stuff. So now that we got 10 hours on the new beast, I think today we're going to work on some technique drills. When I was living with Jerry Robin out in California doing Supercross, I ended up breaking my wrist and then just converting to outdoors. And what's really cool about riding in Southern California is no matter what track you go to, you end up riding with like the whole Star Yamaha team, the Pro Circuit team, factory Honda, factory gas. And you can definitely pay attention to what those guys are doing and learn from them. And one thing I saw the whole Star Yamaha team doing was they would do entire motos with their clutch lever pointing straight up in the air. You can really get pretty lazy and have pretty poor technique and use the clutch to get yourself out of some trouble. So the whole Star Yamaha team would rotate their clutch lever so it was pointing straight up in the air. That way they could still shift and get their bike started and everything, but when they're actually riding on the track, they can't mess with their clutch at all. So the Star guys have been doing it for a long time, but it recently blew up on social media and on the internet because there were pictures of Haiden Deegan doing it. Obviously he's now on the Star Yamaha racing team, so it makes sense that he would now be doing that drill as well. And look, you can't argue with the success of the Star Yamaha boys, especially Haiden Deegan this year, so I think it's about time we try it out ourselves. I'm not super hard on my clutch like some guys. No matter what, it's always good training. So I think the plan today, I'm gonna go out to our local spot, do a warm-up moto, pretty standard with the clutch and everything, and show what the lap time looks like while using the clutch. Then I'm gonna go ahead, rotate the clutch straight up in the air, do a moto like that, obviously take some lap times, and then I'm gonna do a third moto with the clutch back where it was and see if there's any difference in my riding style from the first to the third session when I've done the drill. So I'm hoping that when I go out for my third session, you guys will be able to see that I'm using the clutch a little bit less, and hopefully I'm just carrying some more momentum. I think the track today is gonna really suit it. There are definitely some tight corners and it's a little bit sandy, so I kind of use the clutch a little bit more at this track just to get me out of some of those tighter corners. So it could be a good drill. I think I'm gonna have to change my lines up a little bit to open up some of the corners and carry a little bit more momentum so that I'm not abusing the clutch. So it should be pretty interesting. Charging up the cameras over here, you guys can see we've been getting some good use out of these things this spring. So we got the Insta360 RS. This is what I normally mount on my chin mount. So any helmet cam footage is this bad boy right here. And then I also have the X3, which is the 360 cam. And any chest cam footage you see is with this guy. But anyways, let's head to the track so I can try out Haiden Deegan's secret training technique and see if it does me any good. So I'll get loaded up, pick this up at the track. All right, first session out, just doing a regular one, clutch normal. We're gonna do a warm up. Track is definitely a little soft, so it needs to be broken in anyway, so we'll do a warm up, get some lap times from it, and then we'll come back in and get that clutch sitting right. I think I'm gonna talk these boys into doing the drill with me, so we'll see if they're down. make a quick adjustment real quick?
Yeah, whatever.
Your lever's looking awfully low there, sir.
I just moved my bars. I didn't really know where to put them. I don't know.
Here, let me help you out.
It might be the bars.
No, it's definitely your lever. Your lever's just low. Let me help you out. There you go. That looks good right there.
That's not happening.
Huh?
You're dialed now, dude.
Just not touch it.
Because you won't.
Oh, that is goofy, dude.
Oh, yeah.
That's goofy. I like it. You like it?
Fuck no.
Yeah, that might be a little excessive. Hold on.
I can just not use it.
I don't trust you. I don't trust you one bit. There you go. Oh, that's goofy. Let's go see what this is all about. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, I hate it. It's weird, dude.
Yeah.
But it's pretty good.
Yeah. It's gotta teach you momentum.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, this will be interesting.
Have fun, soldier. RJ's a bit of a clutch abuser, so this will be a good test. Actually, not as bad as I was thinking it was gonna be at all. Kind of enjoyed it, to be honest. I discovered I don't really use the clutch as much as I thought I did. You can carry some good momentum on this track, but there are a couple really tight corners where I definitely had to approach it a little bit more slow, but I definitely carried more speed coming through it. I think if I spent a couple days like this, I could get really comfortable and really drop my lap time. Kind of cool though. I think I have discovered some places where I'm using the clutch where I don't need to, so I'm gonna go ahead and put my clutch lever back, head out there for another session and see if my riding behavior is any different from the first time that I went out on the track.
there you have it, guys. At the beginning of the day, I would have told you that the gap between a clutch moto and a no clutch moto would have been way bigger than that. From the first session to the second session, it was like, what, 0.07 of a second, which is basically nothing. And then what I really like to see is that the third session I went out was way faster than both of the sessions. So I like to think that doing the no clutch drill maybe taught me some things that I can use when I go back to using the clutch and therefore dropping my lap time. At the end of the day, that is the exact purpose of doing these drills, so it kind of looks like it was a success. And I definitely wasn't like subconsciously trying to push harder or anything. You know, I genuinely want to find out what makes me a better rider, and so doing these type of drills is really fun, and it's always really encouraging to see some good progress with it. So yeah, I encourage you guys to try out this drill. I don't know if you really need to go as far as rotating your clutch lever straight up, but just making that mental note to not touch your clutch lever could pay huge dividends, especially if you're on a track that's a little bit more rutted than this. These sandy berms are a little bit easier to get away with not using your clutch because it's pretty forgiving. But I think if I'm on a rutted track, it would be even bigger, because the biggest thing that I notice is that mid-corner roll through speed. Like, sometimes you get a little bit nervous that you're going to stall the engine, so you pull the clutch in, and then that gets rid of your engine braking, which causes you to get a little bit nervous because you're rolling too fast, so then you get on both the brakes and you slow down too much. When I didn't have the clutch, I still felt that feeling of like, oh no, I'm rolling through the middle of the corner too fast, but I knew that if I locked up the rear wheel, I would stall the bike. So it just kind of forces you to lean the bike over a little bit more and carry that speed a little bit better. So I think that's the biggest thing you can see from the first to the third session in some of these really tight S corners and these weird off-cambery corners. I feel like I'm just carrying way more mid-corner speed from what I learned from that no clutch moto. So definitely also teaches you that coming into a corner fast is not everything. Sometimes if you take, you know, a quarter of a second to set up for a corner, it can save you a half a second on the mid and exit of a corner. So there's that super old saying in motorsports racing, especially cars, where it's slow into the corner, fast through and out of the corner. Seems like that can definitely be applied to motocross as well. So overall, I'm giving this drill a 10 out of a 10. I encourage you guys to try it out this spring while you're getting ready for the Loretta Lynn's qualifiers or whatever races you guys have coming up. Definitely try it out. Thanks to the Star Yamaha boys for showing me this one. And if you guys have any other drills or techniques that you want me to try out and make a video on, please, I'm all ears. I ride multiple times a week and I'm just getting ready for the nationals. So any drills that are going to make me faster, I'm down for it. So drop them in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll catch you in the next one. Later.